It is the third Wednesday in the month of December 2020. Thank you very much for joining us this morning on the platform. This is the pinnacle of all discussions right here on Flow 94.9 FM. This is the flow of God's own state. Well, the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions, we take a critical look at issues as it affects our dear nation Nigeria, and also as it affects our dear state Abia State. I need to let you know that we are also very much live on our social media platforms. On Facebook page, we're streaming live visuals of what is happening in the studio right now. www.facebook.com/flow949fm, and also we're live on Twitter and also YouTube. Thank you very much for joining us once again. The second edition of the program, the platform, right here on Flow 94.9 FM. My name is Michael Oni. Now, this morning, we're taking a look at the directive issued by the Nigerian Communications Commission on the suspension of the new SIM card registration by network operators. The Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Dr. Isa Pantami, issued a fresh directive that makes it compulsory for all SIM cards to be linked to the national identity number. Wait before you say it doesn't concern you, because I'm very sure you make use of your telephone. You have a SIM card, you have a phone number, so it concerns everyone. Before you say Michael is back with another topic and it is none of my business, it is your business, because that phone number you're using might be blocked in 2 weeks' time. Yes, I'm very serious about that. The minister gave this fresh directive when he convened an urgent meeting of key stakeholders in the communications industry and gave telecoms operators 2 weeks to link subscribers registered SIM cards on their networks to NIN, which is the National Identification Number, which is currently being issued by the National Identity Management Commission. So if you do not have your NIN number, that's the National Identification Number, linked to your phone, that your phone number by your telecommunication company provider, it means that your line might be blocked within 2 weeks. That directive started from today, 16th of December 2020 rather. The new directive stated that the submission of NIN by subscribers must take place within 2 weeks from today, December 16, 2020, and end by December 30, 2020. Now, let's begin the conversation. I will be speaking with Mr. Loveday Chika Ogbonna, the state coordinator of the National Identity Management Commission, Abia State. Of course, the commission is in charge of registering the numbers, the national identity numbers right here in Abia State. The man in charge of the commission in Abia State is joining me virtually this morning. Mr. Loveday, good morning to you. Yeah, Mr. Loveday, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, great.
Good morning, Nigerians.
You're welcome.
Good morning,
You're live on Flow 94.9 FM. Welcome to the platform.
Thank you very much.
Okay, you've been here, and I would like you to reiterate the importance of NIN. And but before we get to that point, do you think that what the communication minister, the directive issued was in line with simulation of all the numbers that we have in the country?
Yes, it's actually long overdue, because that is one of the ways we can actually tackle some of these issues that has been bedeviling the countries in terms of security, terrorism, and all that. And it's also part of the ongoing attempt by the federal government to harmonize all the cellular data that has been operating in the system. A system where each agency of government collects biometrics and then keeps, and this other one collects. We keep doing the same thing all over again and expecting a different result. So this is just like your BVN. The number is already being linked to your NIN now. What government is trying to make sure that you are the same person everywhere. You understand? A station where you go to a SIM card operator or maybe telco operator, and then one person obtains like 10 SIM cards and he walks away with his own biometrics. And you see that if a crime is committed in the next maybe 1 or 2 years, with those SIM cards, you are not able to track it one by one, because that SIM card were issued to maybe about 9 other people who are probably not the person that originally registered with the SIM, if you agree with me. You understand? So this person that you picked up now, based on the information that is on the biometrics, is not the actual culprit, may not even know anything about the offense that have been committed. But then when it's being tied to when it's being linked to the NIN, you discover that it's a unique identity. The NIN is unique. It is one person, one data, one information, and then that person can easily be tracked to his doorstep, even with kidnappings and things like that. So for us in the commission, is a welcome development. I know it's going to put a lot of pressure on us to make sure that every Nigerian now, particularly those who have not registered for the national identity number,
yes,
to come forward to make this. And then I think we're also prepared to receive this, because that's the only way forward, if you ask me.
Okay, I'm very happy that you understand that it's going to put a lot of pressure on the organization, on your commission. Are you prepared? How prepared are you, especially in Abia State?
Well, in Abia State, we have over 22 registration centers, which cuts across the local government, although we have some local government where we do not have presence, like in Bende local government that recently caught fire. Aba South too also had a challenge. I think it has just picked up now, just last week. So, but apart from this local government, we have some special centers too that have been carved out. So we are ready, and as people come, we're going to be attending to these people with critical situations so that they can meet up with this deadline, especially now that is coming at a time when people have to do a lot of travels and all that. But then for those who are already linked, for example, if you use your phone number with which you registered with the NIN, and you do *346#, I repeat, *346#, it's a USSD code. It brings your NIN number, it prompts you and requests you to do one or two other things, and then your NIN number will come back to you. So for that, you have settled with that. You don't need to go and submit to that particular network. But for those of them who uses maybe up to like 3 or 4 SIM cards, just like you do for your BVN, you register with one bank and then you go to other banks and present your BVN, they will update it. That's what we are going to do here. So for the fact that a lot of people are already on our system, it's also going to help. Once you do that and you know that your number is linked to us, so you're not going to bother with that network again. All you now do is for those other networks where you are not linked, you go and do the same thing. So that will also reduce the pressure, because a lot of people may not know this.
Interesting. Now, this is coming at a time Nigerians are preparing for Yuletide. It's a rush season, if I may put it that way, and it's a time that we're already experiencing a spike in COVID-19, and we're all abiding by the rules and saying, well, we shouldn't cluster in one place, and we should ensure social distancing, physical distancing has been put in place, some of the protocols put in place by the agencies. Now, how are we going to ensure that we register millions of Nigerians within a 2-week period, a 2-week ultimatum given by the Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy? And of course, while ensuring that we follow the COVID-19 protocols?
Well, although I'm not a spokesperson for the Nigerian Communication Commission, I believe you have a person right there with you shortly. I also believe that the minister is a Nigerian, and a good one at that, and somebody who also have the heart of Nigerians at heart. I want to believe that as this happens and he gets to analyze the situation, it will come by to make it a little bit easy for people, and that's why we're also saying, if you're already in our system, then don't bother for that network. Okay. So that will also reduce the number of people. For example, I have an Airtel line. So if I do *346 on my Airtel, just like you do for BVN, and then that number comes back to me, then for that network, I don't need to. Exactly. It means it has been linked to that number.
What if I'm using 2 numbers now?
That's why I'm coming to.
Okay.
So if you are now using MTN, because our system as at then recognizes just one number that you use to enroll, You understand?
Yes.
So for the second line, the second number, which may be any other network, which is not going to respond to this USSD prompt,
Yes.
that's the one you need to go and present. So if you have two lines, it's probably one of your line that will be affected, or those that have used a previous line and they are no longer using that line. If they try that, it won't work, so they may have to go. So as much as that is going to help to curtail the rush, I believe that the minister is going to, when it comes to that, but I think we need to start from somewhere. We need to do something, because
okay,
with the
I would like us.
situation,
I would like us to break
Yeah.
it down to Abia State now. Let's bring it
Okay.
back home. I'm sure
Yes.
you have thousands, if not millions, to register in Abia
That's
State
true.
as far as
That's true.
NIN is concerned, and you have
That's
just
true.
22 registration centers. Do you think those
Yes.
centers will be able to cater for the numbers that you have to register within a 2-week period starting from today?
Well, to be candid, I'm not. We are not. I mean, that number is not really enough, if you ask me, because we are supposed to be in all the local governments, and that's why some local governments now that do not have, have not, where we are not actually active, are going to experience, because a lot of people will have to travel down. For example, in Ikuano, we are not there. Ikuano local government, which is closer to Umuahia. So you see a lot of people coming out all the way from Ikuano to come to the nearest local government, which is Umuahia South, because we are there in Umuahia South, or probably Umuahia North. Yes. Then those from Ohafia, well, we have a center in Ohafia, so we don't have. But then there's an opportunity now. The ecosystem has just been approved by the federal government,
Okay.
which enables private individuals and government agencies to also capture this data and then send to the NIMSI back end. You understand? That is the World Bank. The World Bank came in and insisted that there has to be an intervention to make sure that every Nigerian is registered in 3 years' time.
Okay.
Now, how does this affect Abians? Less than 1 million Abians, as I speak to you, has been registered into the database, which is still a far cry from where
Less than what?
less than 1 million
1
Abians.
million
The last time,
Abians.
yes, the last time
Okay.
I checked, it was about 900 and something thousand. So it's still a far cry from where, because I believe that Abia State population shouldn't be anything less than 6 million, if you ask me.
Of
So-
course, that's the approximate value.
That's approximate. So you
Yeah.
see that we still have a long way to go. But then you are talking about people who have SIM card, and it's not only limited to SIM card alone. The NIN is going to be required for every government service that you are going to enjoy.
Okay.
Any-
Now you
yeah.
mentioned that there are some local governments that you're not present
Active,
at
yes.
the moment. Why are you not at those local governments?
Okay, like I said, we used to be in Bende local government, but then the head of that place caught fire. So our systems and everything were damaged, and we are not there now. And then Ikuano, I also say the local government chairman has also been trying. I believe that in few days' time we should be able to, by the new year, we should be able to have presence there. You know, we are not in Arochukwu local government, but we are in a school there called Aseta.
Okay.
You know, because of security challenge, that the local government is not so this thing for us. You understand? We are not in Ugunabo, we are not in Okwa West, you know, and then I think these are the ones we can quickly remember now. So one of them is also the challenge is from our own end anyway. Must admit,
Okay.
system.
Have you reported some of these challenges to the headquarters in Abuja? The headquarters
As
of
I
the
talk to
commission?
you now, I'm presently in Abuja. Of course, this is a phone call,
Okay.
and one of the attempts is being made to ensure that new systems, additional systems, is being provided, and I have some that I'll be coming back with, just to make sure that, because Abia State government has also done well in ensuring the executive governor of the state has actually asked what do we need to do to make sure that Abians, because my last presentation to him actually explained that Abia is behind in terms of enrollment. In fact, among the eastern states, Abia State and Ebonyi State were lagging behind. But as I speak to you now, there was some level of improvement until this pandemic. So, with relation to your question about the pandemic and complying with the NCDC, that I believe the government is in a there's a unity in the government. So when they talk to themselves, I'm sure there's a way we can always come together. But then, should we start from somewhere? I think we should start, and it's a step in the right direction, so that we can control in line with the present security challenges. People just go and pick up SIM everywhere, and then do something, change it, and then kidnap people, and you are not able to track them. So this will help to actually track these people and then bring them to book.
Okay,
with the
Mr.
security agencies.
Mr. Loveday Ogbonna, I want to quickly ask you the processes again, just before I let you go this morning. The processes of registration. What are those things that Abians are needed to come with, especially when they are going to the various registration centers in the state?
Okay, it's you're just working with any form of, because what we are providing for the country and for Abians is what we call foundational ID. There are two agencies of government that can only provide that. That's M-Population, that's MPOPC, the one they call National Population Commission, and the NIMSTI. Others, other agencies of government provide what we call functional identities. Yes. Which relates to whatever work job they are doing. You understand? So, but we make sure that as much as possible, whether you have an ID or not, it will not stop you from being enrolled. So long as you're identified as a Nigerian, you may need to come with your voter's card, state of origin. I mean, either of this, your birth certificate, maybe your traditional ruler can give you a note, a letter. So at some point there must be something to actually which we scan to recognize that you're one of us.
Now, that brings to question, because it seems the NIN is for Nigerians only, and there are some non-Nigerians working in Nigeria. Although this question you might not be able to answer it, but then I will still put it forward just in case you might have answers to my questions. Though there are non-Nigerians living in the country with a phone number, and it is required of you to have a phone number registered with a NIN, which is the National Identification Number. So what happens?
That's correct. Okay, let me just get this. Our act, the NIMSI Act, it empowers us to register Nigerians and non-Nigerians living in Nigeria who are called legal residents.
Okay.
So that covers this set of people that you're talking about.
So they can also register.
We register them, but we identify them as non-Nigerians.
Interesting.
And indicate their state and their country of origin, so that when they also commit offense, we can track them. So the system enables you to register Nigerians, and we register from birth. Because from next year, yes, most examination councils will not allow you to write like your NECO, like your WAEC, without even having that number. And people are confusing it with the card. There's a whole lot of difference between the card and the number. Recall that when BVN started, they were giving card. But the world is going digital, and that's why we are now under the Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy. You understand? India recently registered about 1.2 billion Indians into what they call the Aadhaar project.
Yes.
And none of them was even given a piece of paper. They just copy that number and then you go with it, because the number is what identifies you. So when you come to an NIMSI center to register, we give you what you call a pseudonym. That pseudonym is that number that you have, so that you don't confuse it with the card. I've registered
which is on the slip given to you.
Which is on that slip, yes. Which you can also do with that USSD code I just mentioned.
All right.
To be sure that you're actually in our database. You understand? And then what also happens is that some people get registered into our database without coming to our center, and they do not know this, because we collected their data from the BVN. The banks gave us their data, and then we populated and we're able to generate the national identity number, and we now wait for them to come so that they can give us additional information that does not just relate to banking, but relates to what we want, and then we now issue them that NIN. So you can probably do that, and then a NIN shows, and you're wondering, where did I register? Probably you haven't come to any NIMSI office, but that's because we have your NIN, especially your BVN. And that's why when people come to register too, we ask them for BVN. They're like, what business do you have with my bank account? And we say, no, government is the same. We're just talking to ourselves. It's just a handshake.
All right. Well, I would really love you to go right now, but how many minutes does it take registering one person?
Wow, yeah, that's a whole lot, because if you look at our forms, it has a lot of questions that it asks. But with the ecosystem that I'm talking to you now that is coming up, the fields are going to reduce to like 10. So in less than 10 minutes, you should be able to do the registration.
That's after the ecosystem has been
Yes, yeah,
implemented.
kicks off,
But
which is
now,
already,
but
we're just
right
publishing
now,
it.
if I'm
Yeah.
if I'm to get registered, how many minutes will it take me to get registered?
Well, don't let that scare you, my brother. The
All
minutes
right.
is a function of, there are other things. There are other things that are relative. You understand, availability
Okay.
of power and all that. Yeah, but then it's better for the individual to just come. We observe the NCDC this in all our centers, and then we should just get going. If you ask me.
All right, Mr. Loveday Chikaogbonna, State Coordinator, National Identity Management Commission, Abia State. Thank you very much for your time this morning on the platform on Flow 94.9 FM. We've been speaking with Michael. Do enjoy the rest of your day also.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Flow FM. You've always been wonderful to us. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm going to take reactions on the phone lines right now, but that will be after this timeout on the platform on Flow 94.9 FM.
94.9 FM. We've got conducive and well-secured environment for business. High-tech video studio, a state-of-the-art production studio. You can also listen live on www.flow949fm.com and watch our videos on YouTube at Flow FM TV. Flow 94.9 FM, not just radio, but a complete broadcasting house.
Well, it is still the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions right here on Flow 94.9 FM Wednesday edition. And we'll be speaking on a very critical issue. If you think it doesn't affect you, it affects you because you're using a phone number. In fact, for those that call on this program, you use a number that belongs to you, and it is very important you get registered on the national identity platform, getting a national identity number if you're yet to get that within 2 weeks. Of course, if you do not do that, your line may be blocked. And of course, we spoke with the Abia State Coordinator of the National Identity Management Agency. And of course, just before the start of the program, Dr. Ikechukwu Adindu is the Director of Public Affairs at Nigeria Communications Commission. He spoke with us. We understand he's in a meeting. He's still in a meeting. We wanted him to speak with to us live on the program, but he managed to speak with my producer, Samson Eze, just briefly on the implication of this directive. I'm going to take that interview and, of course, throw the lines open for you to participate and what you think about this directive.
The press statement we issued is quite clear about the objective of the new SIM registration exercise, and the whole effort is to ensure that every Nigerian has a national identity number that is synced or linked to his or her telephone number or numbers. Okay. The reality today is that most of us carry 10, 3, 4, 5 phones, multiple phones, and we have different identities in some cases on these phones. So a NIN is a unique digital ID for every individual or every subscriber. In the event that you have multiple phone numbers, that NIN becomes unique to you, and that becomes your unique identity as opposed to what we have currently. And so that's the major objective of this exercise, is to ensure the integrity of the SIM data that are resident with the network operators.
Then, are you not concerned with the short notice? It seems quite short.
Short is relative. Short is relative. I don't know when you say short notice.
No, the notice for people to get enrolled, like mandatory enrollment. If you haven't done it before, go and do it. It looks quite short.
Well, the reality is that the infrastructure for registration is being expanded. The mobile network operators have been accredited as agents of NIMSI to now also capture and issue NINs. So it's going to make the whole process faster than most people expect. So it's not just NIMSI that will be doing the registration. The operators themselves, all the network operators, are going to be involved.
So what is the relationship, the working relationship you have with NIMSI in this regard?
Well, of course, just like NIMSI is a sister government agency, and then of course there's like you even saw in the press statement that they were well represented at the meeting. So this is more like a coordinated effort.
Okay, what's the general implication of this effort now towards national security? Because you're looking at the situation of the country at the moment. We're hoping that this can help, at least we can build a standard database. Is that the aim?
Well, that is part of the aim, among other objectives. You're right to say that it will improve national security, because the reality is that it becomes easier. You, as an example, if you are a subscriber to any of the networks, it is easier to identify who you are using your name than any other means of identification. And I think that goes a long way in improving security, to the extent that it helps to strengthen our identification process of those who are subscribers to networks.
Finally, Doctor, I want to know the level of compliance from the telcos. How are they taking this directive?
The telcos, they are part and parcel of this. It's a collaborative effort with the government agencies, and they all clearly understand that the strategic objectives are in the national interest, and they are very, very well on board.
Thank you very much, sir.
94.9 FM. We've got conducive and well-secured environment for business. High-tech video studio, a state-of-the-art production studio. You can also listen live on www.flow949fm.com and watch our videos on YouTube at Flow FM TV. Flow 94.9 FM, not just radio, but a complete broadcasting house.
Well, it is still Flow 94.9 FM, the flow of God's own state, the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions. Now let's talk. Let's talk about this directive. SIM cards to be linked to the national identity number. What do you make of this? You've heard from the NCC, that's the Nigerian Communications Commission. You've heard from the National Identity Management Agency, the man in charge of Abia State, the coordinator in Abia State. What do you make of this? The time frame, a 2-week period given, a 2-week deadline for compliance, and of course the registration or suspension of the numbers that are not yet linked, the expiration of this 2-week deadline. What do you make of this? Let's talk this morning on the platform 0808 182 6949 or 0811 605 2949. Hello, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Michael.
You're welcome. Good morning.
It's Alvan. I'm calling you from Bengal.
Alvan, good morning to you. Compliment of the season.
Yeah, the same. You're welcome back.
Thank you.
I wish the man you spoke with in charge of NIMSI is on the line. I would have asked him. He reported that they are not active in Bende. Yes, for almost 1 year now, they've not seen them around Bende. Even some of us that registered, we are yet to get our permanent card. So I don't know what is our fate. Of course, they should have given us a particular center where we come and do whatever they ask us to do. Of course, personally, I think I have up to 4 SIM cards. Is only one that is linked with the data. I've checked my own, but the other ones they are not linked to. So we should know the particular place we're supposed to come and upgrade this so that we will not lose contact of the other SIM card. And again, the time, 2 weeks, I don't think is good. Though the intention sounds to be good if they can implement it, but they should extend the time. And we that have problem in Bende, they should do something else. Come to Bende, we can give them another office for where they will stay than not in their presence. We need to have their presence in Bende. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Alvan, for your contribution this morning. Hello, good morning to you. You're welcome. Can you change your location so that we can have a better reception here? Hello. Yes, great.
Hello.
You're welcome. I can hear you now.
Welcome and have a nice day. How was the burial of your grandma?
Well,
Hope
it
all
was,
went well.
yeah, it went well. Thank you.
As someone said, I'm calling from Omukabe, Omaya.
You're welcome.
This quick notice, because this is a very quick notice to people. I don't know whether we consider those in the rural areas. How we can attempt to them for everybody to get his national ID card. I came back from the north sometimes when they were having this national ID card of a thing. People they go down to the rural areas with their machines and help those elderly ones or those who cannot afford to come to the urban area. Help them do all these things. To find it easy and everything goes easy with them. And now we don't know what to do. Just 2 weeks time for the 200 million people. I don't think 200 million people to identify themselves with their SIM card. Don't know how that will work in Nigeria. I don't say that what they are doing is not good, but how are we going to cope up with these things? We have asked that man to tell us if they are ready at the top. What are those at the hinterland? What are we going to tell them? Thank you, and God bless.
All right, thank you very much, Ndubisi. Definitely, we will continue our conversation on this particular topic of discussion. Hello, good morning to you.
Yeah, very good morning to you, Michael.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I see my Mr. Osman. I'm calling from Oduma here.
All right.
If you allow the man to stay online, like I have some issues. Like me now, I'm a very busy somebody now. Like I have 2 SIM cards and also register my Glow line with my national ID. But one of my the other line, my Airtel line, where I didn't register with my ID and I use it for my bank, like I use both my business and like will it still block? Like,
okay, I think he addressed that. He said that if you have multiple numbers from different providers or from the same provider, you will have to visit their office again so that particular your other numbers can be keyed.
Will be attached to my national ID.
Yes, it can be tallied if that is the word.
Last time I did my national ID, I was paid a token of thousands. But now I'm saying like this. Will they collect another money again? Like I'm tired of paying all this money.
All right.
Like seriously.
All right, Love Smile. Thank you for your contribution. Let's see. This will pull through also. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Michael.
You're welcome.
Please accept my condolence on the death of your other brother. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I remember Mr. Prince Will Swago for now, no more.
You're welcome, Mr. Prince Will.
Yes, Michael, the intention of names is very, very nice.
Hello? Hello, Mr. Prince Will. We lost the call. Guess it's the network. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
You're welcome.
It's Ikechuku calling from Umaya.
All right, Ikechuku.
My condolence to your grandmama.
All right.
How was the burial?
Thank you. It went well. Thank you.
Okay. Now, so resting.
Amen.
See, what we are saying is, in this case, I think they are just doing kind of gallery, sort of gallery. Most people who commit crime in Nigeria, their identity is known. They are I'm telling you. Most people who still are money politicians, including Shekarawo, the leader of Boko Haram, you understand? Their identity are well established. But if they are working on microchip, instead of asking for a SIM card, we have somebody can remove a SIM card and chip it. Why don't you contact the phone manufacturers? They have, every phone have chip, a tracking device chip. You understand? So from there now, you use Nitel. We have Nitel. You use Nitel as a database. What do you call it? Satellite detecting. You understand? Everything you put in that phone will immediately identify you immediately and register into the database. This one just don't keep moving around. It's a waste of time. Every phone has a chip, a tracking chip device. Anything you put in that phone, the phone will track it and register. NK used to do it. They register the thing to that network and know that this is part of phone you are using. So they harmonize it by all those phone producers who are
All
coming
right.
from China.
Quickly wrap up with
We should
us.
contact them and use their method. Instead of asking people to go and be queuing on the line and start doing as if you are doing voter registration again. Nobody has that time. You are right.
All right. Thank you for your contribution, Ikechukwu. Let's take this and we'll wrap up the program this morning. Hello, good morning to you.
Oh, all right, Michael, I'm sorry. I still remember Mr. Prince.
All right. Welcome back.
Yeah, my advice is this. The intention is good, but I would have loved the names to work in collaboration with Nigerian Communication Commission. They have the data system. Every user of every line has his line with Nigerian television, Nigerian Communication Commission, and they should have worked in collaboration with names. With the central data of names, they would have known actually who had registered and who has not registered, instead of suffering people now. And secondly, the timing is quite wrong, my brother. We are entering into festive season. Why should they give us now and give us a very short time, 2 weeks, which I see that is not going to be realistic, because 2 weeks is quite a short time. And secondly, the timing is wrong. They would have put it in the middle of next year, so that people should be aware. And secondly, let them work in collaboration with the Nigerian Communication Commission, likewise names, to get a central system of people registered.
Right.
And when they do this, believe you me, everything will work instead of suffering people. That's my take.
All right, thank you very much for your take, Mr. Prince Will. And that's how far we can go this morning on the program, the platform. The program returns on Friday, where we bring up another issue as far as the nation is concerned, and also as far as Abia State is concerned. Do enjoy the rest of your day. Many thanks to the guys behind the visuals you're seeing on Facebook page, and definitely this edition of the program will be uploaded on our YouTube page later today, Flow FM TV. That's Stanley and also Solomon. All right, so do enjoy the rest of your day. Many thanks to the producer, Samson Eze. My name is Michael Oni.